Alrighty, welcome on, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Firth here, one of the founding Field Advisory Board members with Neumi, and I'm excited for today's session. Type in the chat where you're watching us from. Normally, we would have a little explanation about closed captions, but today we actually have Wordly as well, and that's a much more advanced technology. So with that in mind, to kick off today, please welcome our Vice President of Sales, Sergio Delamora.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Welcome, everybody. We're really happy that you're here this evening. We had a wonderful turnout this morning, evening for Europe, and now it's time for us to reach the rest of the world. As Michael just mentioned, this is a special edition for Members Night. So if you would like to get some information on how you can watch this live, of course, to hear about how can you listen in various languages, all you need to do is pull up your phone to this QR code and you are able to listen to more than 70 language or read, whatever works better for you. But all you need to do is download that. So take a minute. This has been a really good tool. We've used it on Neumi Week. We actually have been using it since the Achievers earlier in the year, and it's gotten better by the minute. So we're very happy to take advantage of it on this special occasion. So just take a moment to connect on that, and everything is ready to go on live now with translations. And as we kick off today, Michael, if you don't mind, we're actually going to take a moment to recognize some of the rank advancements we've had recently here.
Absolutely. And what I'm going to do, guys, as well, in the chat, in case you missed that QR code, I'm going to put the link so you can still click it with your phone if necessary. But yes, let's get some of those amazing recognitions ready to go.
Congratulations to all these wonderful rank advancements. That's not all, folks. You had the opportunity to hear a little bit from our two newest diamonds here at Neumi. I'd like to highlight them again today. Give me just one moment as I get my screen up here. Just a quick reminder, if you'd like to use this wonderful translation tool, here it is. And Michael, I appreciate you putting that on the chat as well. That's another way to log in. Please join me in clapping and putting your hands together for Lucy Yi. You got to hear from her last week. And we are very excited and very happy for your achievement, Lucy. Again, you are going to be part of the next year Diamond Cruise or Diamond, whatever that Diamond experience is going to be. We are very happy to have you qualified for that and to celebrate the success. Congratulations, Lucy, all the way from Napa, California. And we also would like to congratulate Moises Rodriguez all the way from Panama City, Panama. He's a wonderful leader. He actually is working with a lot of the folks in Spain with Marco Boy, someone you know very well. This is a great organization, and you got to hear from him as well a little bit using translations. So you're going to see these wonderful new members of the Diamond Club here at Neumi, and you get to see and hear from them and take actually wonderful tips in the next coming months and so forth. But we want to congratulate you and welcome you officially to Neumi's Diamond Club. Now, take a moment one more time before I introduce you to our special keynote speaker, guest of honor today, our CEO, Aaron Renner. Again, this is the way you can have live translation. We're reaching Asia today. We're reaching Latin America, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Taiwan. We have people from all over the world here. So we are very happy that we can use this technology on this special edition for the call. Before I introduce you to our special guest, I just want to remind you that we have now, as we're going into November, we will close out the events with this special event this week. Steve will now host his his breakthrough call and meet the founder call every third Thursday. So we're going to have two. We're going to have one at 11 a.m., just like we did today, and then we'll have the second one at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we look forward for you to give you time to get all your people ready to hear and meet Steve on the third Thursday of the month. Now, with more information, I'll close out with an important announcement, a reminder for you. But please join me in welcoming our guest of honor today, Mr. Aaron Renner.
Well, Sergio, thank you. And for everybody on the call tonight, I certainly appreciate everybody being here. Of course, Sergio somehow is keeping all the plates spinning in the air. And so I appreciate his dedication and his commitment to each of you, because really he's a guy that takes every phone call, takes every text, takes every conversation and makes sure that people are taken care of out in the field. And that's really what we're loving right now, is we're leaning into the field development side. We've got an incredible team that works with Sergio. Of course, we've got Claudia, who's in Latin America, Diana, who's working with Europe, and then, of course, Justine, who's working with North America, and many of the others in different parts of the world. So, again, I appreciate that. And one of the things that I love, and I really do, I think that sometimes we all find our strengths in life, and there are different things that we identify that are really, what drives us, what we're passionate about. I was in a meeting earlier today with a couple of individuals that came in to talk a little bit about the product and wanted some real deep details on it. And so Steve and I were in there meeting with them today, and to have Steve go over the product, I mean, every time he talks about it, I'm absolutely mesmerized. I really am. I sit back and I listen and I think, I wish I could say it that way. And I realize I don't need to. I've got Steve, I've got videos, I've got different things that have been transcribed, different things that I can send to my contacts and prospects. And so I want you to realize, and I tell this to everybody, make sure that you always remember you are who you are. You have either incredible talents and skills and all of those attributes that are necessary for you to be extremely successful in life. I always tell people, be the messenger, not the message. If I'm a messenger, I can bring Steve to the message as the message, and that's really what we want to do. So anyways, as we get started tonight, we had a great call this morning. Boy, it was packed full. We had people on from all over the world, and it was absolutely amazing to see all of these different individuals. But part of that, and I suspect that part of the main reason why they were there, is that this 5 steps to success is really a simple, easy program for anybody to duplicate. It really is. And once we go through it tonight, or this morning for you that are in other parts of the world, I can see my buddy Phoebe down in Perth. So as I look at different individuals, I know where they're at, and so of course I know that it's morning time for you guys. But at any rate, so here I am in the evening in Utah, and we're talking about the things that are most important to all of us, most important to help people get started, most important to help people onboard successfully, most important to help people understand that if they're really building a business, let's talk about it in business terms. And everybody knows this as we've gone around. I've spent a lot of time traveling around the world. I've had incredible experiences over the last 4 years. 4.5 now, getting to know different people, their lifestyles, their cultures, their communities, and really understanding who they are and what they do. But the one thing that always happens is that we always start talking about business. And as we start talking about business, the most important thing that I want to get to is that we're talking about the things that will drive us every day, the things that help us achieve that level of success that we're looking for. And I always tell people, success is not measured by monetary gains. It's not measured by your bank account. It's really measured by your life. It's measured by your lifestyle. It's measured by the people that you work with and the fulfilling opportunities that you have daily to grow and to find your personal growth and to identify areas that you can do better in your life, as well as those areas that you're really killing it, if you will, the areas that you're doing quite well. So let's talk about the business, and let's really understand where we're going as we continue to move forward and start driving into this presentation. Because again, what I always do as I go around the world is I always have people raise their hand and I say, who in here is in business? And inevitably, by far, about 80 to 90% of the hands go up and they say, I'm in business. And I say, well, if you're in business, let's talk about business in business terms. Let's talk about the things that drive the business. Let's talk about you treating it like a business so that you really understand business concepts and business principles, so that it's not something that becomes a mystery or becomes overwhelming to you to hear business terms, because not all of us are in this businessy world, and not every one of us work in a business type environment. We may work in different areas. We may work in education. We may work in healthcare. We may work in finance, whatever it may be. But those business terms that we're talking about are pretty elementary. And so who's in business? Let's talk about the business terms tonight. Now, as we start jumping into this, you'll notice that it's real simple as I talk about the steps necessary. So let's talk about the steps and let's get into the first step. Let's really start understanding where we're going, how we're going to get there. So step one, return on investment. We always talk about if I'm making an investment into a company, or I'm making an investment into my new venture, if I'm making an investment into myself, that investment has a dollar amount tied to it. And I'm going to use dollars because I'm in America, but most of us understand the dollar. So let's just understand the dollar. So I'm in business. I'm starting my understanding of what I'm doing in business. And as we get going, we really need to understand that return on investment is real simple. You're in business. We want to go from a mode of being profitable, not negative. Sometimes we talk in business principles, we talk about being in the black, not in the red. So we want to help people understand, again, that the black means that you're in the positive. The red means that you're in the negative. So you don't want to be in a deficit ever. So I want to teach you how to get your money back on your initial investment. And it is so simple with the Neumi plan. It is so simple. Of course, we have this Neumi 1, 2, 3, and it's a real simple process as you're prospecting and bringing people in and sharing the information, teaching them about the product, introducing them to some of the leadership within your organization. That's step one. And that really gives you the opportunity to get going. But once you've made the investment, now step one becomes return on investment. So let's talk about how easy it is to get back your return on your investment, your initial investment. So as we go into this, you're really talking about, Sergio, go to the next slide, please. You're really talking about taking that first step. What is the first step? Your first step is that you've invested $100 into your business. The $100 allows you to qualify for commission. So what it really means is that capital investment is what you started with. So as you've started that, now your first step, and I'm going to tell you this is duplication 101. I want you to find, based on our welcome bonus being 25% of their initial order, I want you to find those first 4 people that you can bring into the business at or above the amount that you came in at. So just assuming that everybody comes in at $100, it's real simple. 4 times $100 will give you $400 times 25% gives you your $100 back. Again, simple terms, simple math. There's nothing calculated there. It's just a real simple turn on investment. And so if I've invested the $100, my goal is to get that $100 back as quick as possible. So as fast as you can go out and start identifying some of those people that you want to share this incredible Neumi opportunity with, that'll show you exactly how quickly you can bring that money back into your bank account, make you whole. So now you're even again. And the next month, as you qualify, we'll talk about that as step 2. But the next month, at least you're starting from a neutral level. You're starting again as you start to work and build and grow your organization. You're now starting at that neutral level to start moving up in terms of your income. So let's start here as we start talking about your return on investment. Now we've got the Wordly. For those of you that joined late, just realize you can point your phone, your camera to the QR code there. It'll download Wordly for you. You can choose your language that you need it translated into, and then that will give you the ability to actually have the information at your fingertips. You can either listen or read it on your phone or on your computer, whatever is most comfortable and easy for you. So now as we jump into step 2, where are we going with step 2? Well, step 2 is product for free. And I've always told people, if I've done my job, none of you would ever pay for product again. If I could make it so simple, completely altruistic, I would want it that every single one of you gets your product for free every month. So meaning that you never pay for product again. And so ultimately what I'm really doing is I'm moving you out of the welcome bonus phase, and I'm moving you into more of the unilevel and our power of 3 phase. Because part of that in the plan really starts to get into what do we need to do in terms of bringing enough people in that they will give you enough money that will cover your monthly cost to again, qualify for commissions, but get your product for free. And I always tell people it's a real simple thought as well. You buy your product because you love the product. You buy your product every month because you're going to use it anyways. But again, my goal is that you don't have to pay for that product. So again, mentioning this up front helps you understand that as you build your team, you'll generate enough volume to cover that cost of your product out of your Neumi wallet. So that makes it real simple. Now, as we get into the numbers, let's talk about how that starts to change where we go in the future. So step one was return on investment. Now you're neutral. Step two, product for free. How does it work? Well, as you start to identify, you've brought in your first three people. Now your power of three is set, and your power of three gives you a total of $50. So you're now halfway. You're literally more than halfway to covering the cost of your product purchase for the month. So with the power of three, you've got your $50. But remember, you brought in four people. So with those four people that are on your front level, your first level, those four people are now giving you another additional amount of money. So as you start looking at how the numbers start to come together, you've got your fourth person. So click again, Sergio, please. Now you've got $28. So now you're at a total of $78 that's coming into your organization. Now your next step is helping people understand what their job is, and that creates the duplication in your organization. So the first step is I really want my new people that I've just brought in to do exactly what I did. I want them to get their return on their investment. Well, how do I do that? Well, step one for them is your step two for you. You're starting to build out your second level of your organization, but you're helping them understand that as they go through this process, they now have the opportunity to have, again, you can see your first person on the left side of your screen, they've got their three people. That means that they've gotten their return on their investment, and you're working on your second person. They've got two people. Your third person has one person, but your fourth person is also out there. So again, as you start working and growing and duplicating this method, now you've got $120 that's coming into your Neumi wallet each month just based on these active people in your organization. You're managing, you're supporting, you're talking about their goals, you're talking about their targets. All of those parts are part and parcel to them having their first steps towards success and building their belief in our system. So again, that duplication is paramount and absolutely necessary as you continue to go through it. Next slide. Now, step three really gets into lifestyle change. And as we start talking about lifestyle change, what does that mean to most people? Lifestyle change for a lot of people is really an additional $500 a month that comes into your monthly budget. What does that monthly budget look like? It could be your household budget. It could be your family's budget. It could be your own personal budget. It could be your individual budget if you don't have a family around you that you need to support. But that $500 a month, as Tony Robbins talked about, for years and years and years, had identified that $500 additional in a family's monthly budget or in your individual monthly budget changes your lifestyle. And why do they say that? Well, I tell people this. Lifestyle change is necessary to understand for the average person. That can change drastically, whether you can pay your bills, whether you can pay your rent, whether you can pay your mortgage, whether you can pay your utilities, pay for your gas to get back and forth to work. But for a lot of people, that additional $500 may also give them the ability to have a dinner out with their beautiful significant other. It may give them the ability to go to a vacation or a holiday that they weren't able to take because they just didn't have the additional or extra income. So now you're giving people a chance to really see that the lights can turn on and they can start doing things that they never thought they could do as a result of being, again, on a fixed budget. Now you're giving them an opportunity to increase that fixed budget by doing something with Neumi. And giving them that opportunity for additional $500 a month to your monthly budget is really, again, starting to work on this real simple power of three, because the power of three bonus now starts working on the second level as you start helping your individuals work on their first level. So as that starts to happen, you're now seeing that you've got an additional, again, through your organization, 9 people on your second level. You've still got your 4 people up on your first. You've now got 9 additional people on your second that are part of your power of three. That gives you your bonus of $250. A real simple process. So as you lock in your power of three second level, you're getting $250, but you're helping your first level get their again, return on their investment. You've still got your fourth person that's over on your right side that's continuing to starting to bring their people in. That person's also got their first level power of three. So now you're seeing additional, again, $28 and $84 that's coming into your organization, plus the $140 plus the 250. That's putting you at $502 in total Neumi wallet income. So think about that, folks. That's giving you the opportunity to see that you're bringing in additional income to your family budget, to your household budget, to your own individual budget. Now that's giving you the opportunity to make decisions that aren't constrained by money. Now it's not holding you back from the things that you'd like to do. Now you have the opportunity to do whatever it is that you're looking to do. So again, on your step 3 lifestyle change, it doesn't take many people, as you can see the numbers that are currently on the screen. It doesn't take many people. You're starting to really create duplication. This isn't all on your shoulders. This is you helping your people that you've brought in identify their targets and goals and giving them the best opportunity, the best path to success by getting their return on their investment and next their product for free and starting to work on their lifestyle change, which is already helping you with your own personal lifestyle change. So again, everything we do in this business, everything we do in this industry is helping others while we're helping ourselves. We can't do it alone, folks. It's impossible. I've said this for years. It is absolutely impossible for you to build a significant business by yourself or only with you in your organization. You don't have the ability in this type of industry to do it by yourself. So you're really working with people that you love, that you care about, that are like-minded, that want to go in the same direction that you're going in. And that means that you're in lockstep. That means that you've surrounded yourself with the right people. I always tell people this, that, when you go to work and you've got a job, you sit down at that desk, in that cubicle, in that office, and those people that you're surrounded with, you didn't pick them as your friends. You didn't pick them as the people that you wanted to work with. But you may get along with some of them and you may not get along with some of them. That's normal. That's the workplace. But the bottom line is, in this industry, you get to choose who you want to work with. You get to choose the people that you surround yourself with. And we've always talked about this. What am I? I am the average of my 5 closest friends. So think about that. Who do I want to surround myself with? I want to surround myself with successful, driven, positive, motivated, inspirational people. That's going to be my desire. That's going to be my drive. So again, as I'm working on this, my steps to success are making it real simple for me to identify who do I want to surround myself with. And if I've surrounded myself with the right people, they're surrounding themselves with the right people. That means they're identifying their 5, 10, 20 people that they really want to get close to. And as they're starting to work on sharing the Neumi products, the Neumi business plan, starting to introduce you to the incredible upline, their leadership, those people that are helping them, that's where you really start to drive the desire. That's where we really start to see that you're complementing each other. I talked with Florence Hamill earlier today. We talked a little bit about a meeting that she has coming up. And when we were talking, I'm not sure if she's on the call with us tonight, but as we were talking, I was identifying that some of the people that we have that are in our company and that are doing different things as we continue to build this company, some of those people that we work with every day and that as we continue to build with, we want to identify how we can help them achieve greater success. We want to help them with the things that we do every day, but we identify that we have some of these incredible strengths. But if you identify the strengths in your team, you'll identify those people that can really lift you in areas that maybe you're a little bit weak in. Doesn't mean you're a weak person. It just means there are areas that you may not do well with or as well in those areas as somebody that may be into technology, as somebody that may be into other things that are important, maybe public speaking, maybe creating or drafting presentations. So those are the things that we're talking about, is really surrounding yourself and identifying your team and those leaders within your team, because ultimately every one of our goals is to develop those leaders from within. That's our goal. So we're always working on helping develop that. So again, as we start looking at the lifestyle change, it doesn't take much, folks, to get to that $500 amount that can come into your Neumi wallet every month, that can come into your bank account every month, and that you have the opportunity to do with what you will do with it. Not what we will, but what you will. So that's your chance, that's your opportunity. Now, as we go to the next step, this is really where we start getting into some of the targets, because your rank goals are where your targets come into play. Karen Justice and I always talk about this, your targets and your goals. What are my targets and my goals? My targets and my goals, my target is that I want to hit a certain rank. My goal is that I'm starting to work with certain things as I continue to develop my business, and as I continue to develop my skills, and as I continue to develop my understanding of the product and of the pay plan and of other things. Now I'm starting to work on, where do I want to end up? And so we all know that in Neumi, there's a big push to get people to diamond. We always see that. So a lot of people will put their goal as their target as a diamond. So use that. Use whatever it is. It could be a 1 star, could be a 2 star, 3 star, could be a diamond, could be a crown, whatever it is. Some people say, I want to be at the top. What is the top? So again, put your goals and your targets together. Understand your target is where you're going to take your business. That's going to be your rank. That's going to be your volume. That's going to be your organizational structure. So as you work with that, you've got to define, what rank do I want to hit? And then help that, again, internally understand. You have these natural checkpoints as you climb the ranks to understand where it takes you, how many people you have in your organization, how many you need to get to that next rank. All of these things are mathematical equations that you can work back from the total numbers, whether it be an exercise in division. My total volume is this. I have this many active people currently buying. I can divide those numbers and be able to find exactly how many people I'll need to hit diamond based on total volume. Again, not every structure is perfect, but just realize those are the simple steps. Now, as we go to the next one, this is really where we start to get into the goals. And the goal setting is really where I want to spend some time on this, because goal setting is so absolutely important. It's paramount to your success as an individual. It's paramount to your success as a business owner and as a business leader. Your goals are your personal income goals. So I want you to think about this as we start talking about it. I want you to write down, what is your income goal? And so when I talk about goals in our Neumi 90-day success planner, you'll find that there's a spot where you can start using some of these with your newest people, even yourself, even your upline, your downline, doesn't matter how long they've been in the business. Sit down and get that 90-day success planner and use that with your people. It's a real simple process to take people through a system so that they can understand exactly what it is that they need to do. And then you show them the roadmap. You're giving them the path to success. And as they start following that path to success, you're showing them exactly what they need to do day in and day out. You're supporting them. Again, when I talk about this, I've talked about this a lot. Many people make promises. They make commitments. They tell people, hey, here's what I'm going to do, and here's what I want to do to help you. And so ultimately that becomes your word. Your word is your bond. It's something that you take very seriously. And so as people come into the business, you've said to them, hey, I'm going to help you achieve some level of success. You've got to tell me what you're trying to do or accomplish, and I'll help you get there. Well, guess what? That's your word. That is your promise to them. And a lot of times we get so excited about our newest people that are coming in, we kind of forget about some of those people that we made that promise to. You know, we kind of forget it. We get excited. We get energized by the new person. New person has a lot of energy. The new person has a lot of hope. You've got a lot of hope in that new person. You're excited about where they're going to take you. You're excited about the business. You're excited about, oh, they know so many people. They're very excited. But don't forget about those people that you made the promises to in the beginning. Don't forget about those people that are looking at you for hope, for direction, for your knowledge, for your wisdom, so that they can achieve that level of success that you told them that you would help them achieve. So when you start talking about goals, here's the thing that I want to help you understand. Your goals are very personal to you. But for instance, and I mentioned this earlier, if I'm working with Michael, and I've got an opportunity to spend time with Michael, and Michael is my upline. Michael's my guy that brought me in. Michael's incredible. He's got an incredible background, experience, wisdom. I know he's going to help me. And so I sit down with Michael and I share my goal and I say, Michael, I want to make $10,000 a month. How do I get there? And Michael lays out a plan, and I know that I've got my time and I know how much time I can give him, but Michael's good. Michael says to me, Aaron, how much time do you have to work on the business? I know you've got a full-time job or a part-time job. How much time do you really have to commit to it? because I'll meet you exactly where you have time to meet. I don't have time more than that. I don't have time less. I will meet you with the time that you got to meet. And I say this because a lot of times we forget about those conversations. We forget about qualifying conversations and quantifying conversations. So as I say to Michael, I want to make $10,000 a month. Michael says, great, we are going to have to work extremely hard to get there, but we can do it. We can do it together. And so we start working together, and Michael shows me the roadmap. And if I follow that roadmap, because Michael's got the wisdom, I know I can get there. I know I have that opportunity. If any of you have ever been on a call with Alex Monterosa, and Alex gets on and goes through all of his whiteboard sessions, they're magic. Why are they magic? Because he takes you through a dialogue and helps you understand it in the most simplistic terms how you can use this roadmap that we're talking about to achieve your personal income goals. Those are the things that you want to think about every day as you're starting to build your business. So again, step one is simple, that return on investment, but getting out, hold on, Sergio, go back for 1 second. Sorry. No, this is good. This is good, actually. Stay here. So what I want you to think about is that as you're defining your income goal and as you're looking at it, don't make it so big that you think, oh, I can never get there. Recognize this is your goal that you got out, in terms of time. You've got on a timeline that allows you to get up each step of your goal and your targets. So you can't look at it and say, I've got to be there by next month. Because I can tell you, this is an absolute marathon. It might even be an ultra marathon. It might be an endurance race. How about that? How about we call it hundreds of miles, maybe thousands of miles that you're going to run? Sometimes you're going to walk, sometimes you're going to go slower, but you've got the opportunity so you don't lose sight of what your goal is. So as you start working on it and you start building it and you start determining what it is that you want to accomplish, here's what I want you to think about. Spend time with those individuals that you've worked with in the past that can help you understand what it is they're looking for and what you're looking for. Because ultimately, if you collaborate on this, if you work together, you can achieve a lot more than if you're working on it by yourself. You need accountability, you need responsibility, you need people to hold you to those numbers. And so as you're working on it and you have a down day, you need somebody that can motivate and inspire you. As you're working on it and you have a great day, you want to share it with somebody because you want to celebrate those wins. You want to give yourself the opportunity to really come together and really work on those things together because, again, it's an opportunity for you both to feel that energy and that excitement that comes from helping each other create those wins and celebrate those wins. So again, as we continue to work through this method, your ultimate goal is to be helping everybody the best way they can. So step one is a real simple process. How do I get my return on my investment? Well, with 4 people at or above the same amount, that 25% on the welcome bonus will give you that amount back again easily. So if you can identify those people in your first 30 days, you can have your money back in your bank account. Guess what? Your significant other won't say a word about you going into this new venture, this new business, because they'll say, wow, amazing. She already got it or he already got the money back. This is great. So you don't have to really talk about it. It just becomes a mood issue. Next step is making sure that you're not negative on your monthly money. You want to make sure that you're positive on the amount that you're putting into your business. So again, covering your product cost is your qualifying amount that you need to earn commissions. So again, giving yourself that opportunity to get your product for free is again real simple. It doesn't take much. With the $50 power of three and just a few people, you can make it to that number that you're looking for to again cover that cost of at least $100 a month. We can show you easily how to get to the 120, but just $100 a month, that'll cover your cost. Now, step three is really that lifestyle change. And that's where people start to really see a significant difference because that lifestyle change is something that a lot of people don't know how to find. Again, they're living on their fixed budgets and they're not sure how to get beyond that fixed budget because again, either it's, hey, I'm going to work overtime. Well, working overtime gives you a few dollars extra per hour, maybe a couple bucks additional per hour. So again, you're putting in all that time and all that effort that you could be investing into your own personal business that has no cap, that has nothing that's going to hold you back from a ceiling. It's wide open. Whatever you want it to be, you get to go for it. That's your opportunity. So again, adding additional $500 a month to your monthly budget It changes people's lives. And that's why it's called a lifestyle change, because you can start doing the things that you always wanted to do. Maybe, again, stepping out for a nice dinner, maybe stepping into a holiday that you weren't able to take because you just didn't have the extra finances. These are the opportunities. Maybe it's reducing a credit card debt. Maybe it's reducing student loan. Maybe it's doing something that you need to solve a problem. But what a great opportunity, a real simple step. Now, step 4 is really getting into your targets. And that target is really where you want to take your business. You've got to make some decisions. Where do I want to go with this company? Where do I want to go with my business? How big do I want it to be? And ultimately, that'll start driving you towards, again, step 5, which is your income goal. Step 5 is a real simple process to really understand, how do I get to my ultimate goals? And I've told this story before. As a matter of fact, I told it earlier today. I told it last week on a Latin American call with the Spanish speakers. It was an amazing, amazing call even last week. But the reason that I love telling this story is because it really illustrates what we're talking about. When we're talking about somebody who's setting their goals and they're trying to figure out, how do I get to that number? How do I get to my ultimate goal? I always tell people, I want you to stop right now, slow down, take a deep breath, and really, really define what your ultimate income goal is. As you start thinking about that, that number starts to become ingrained. It starts to become something that's tangible, not intangible, tangible. So now you've got this income goal. So as you start looking at that income goal, you now need to say, why do I need that income goal? What does it do for me? What does it do for my family? What does it do for me, again, individually? How do I take it to that next level? What do I need to do to get there? And I've done this around the world. But again, I tell this story about a person, a lady that I met in Tbilisi, Georgia, who asked, raised her hand, and she wanted to share her income goal. And she raised her hand. She said, I want to make $10,000 a month. I said, that's great. For what? She said, well, I really want to make $10,000 a month. That's my goal. That's my income goal. I said, that's awesome. Amazing. For what? What does it do for you? She said, I can't imagine. It would be so great having $10,000 a month come into into my bank account. She said, I can't even imagine. It would be so great. I said, for what? What does it do for you? What does it do for your family? What does it do to change your life? And all of a sudden it hit her. And she started crying, and she shared the story that she absolutely lives in the poorest area of Tbilisi, Georgia. Tbilisi can be a little bit underserved, if you will, in terms of financial gain. It's a tough country. So she lived in this area. She said, my children go to the poorest school district in the country. They have the poorest education. They're known by that. She said, my children have never had new shoes. They don't have new clothes. They're not able to buy those things that they would love. And she said, so I want to move out of this area. I want to move to a new postal code. I want to be able to take my kids to a new school system. I want to be able to give them things that they've never been able to get before. I want to give them new shoes, and I want to give them new clothes, and I want them to be proud of what they have. And I want to give them the future. I want to start saving so that they can go to a higher education. I want to give them something that I didn't have. She's crying. Now everybody in the room's crying, and they're bawling their eyes out. Why? Because she finally figured out exactly what it was that she wanted out of her business. She finally figured out what that income goal would do to change her life. That's what I want you to find out within you. I want you to find out, what is it that is going to drive you to do the extra work, to put in a little bit more time, to try to find those people that you can share this information with, so that they can come to this opportunity, so that they can change their life, so that they have an opportunity to do what we talked about, which is identify their income goal, identify why they need that money, and how it changes people's lives. Because once you understand that, nothing can take you off your course. Nothing. It is an absolute known that once you understand what it is that's driving you every day, it will change you to be so passionate. We all need passion, folks. It'll give you the passion that you need to do the things that you didn't think you could do, but you did it. And why? Because you knew that deep down inside you were doing it for a bigger reason. That bigger reason has to be bigger than you. It has to be bigger than your thoughts and your dreams and your desires. And I always tell people this. It's not about trying to again, I say this, I said it earlier, I feel like a broken record, but it's not about buying a new Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It's not about buying a yacht or a mansion. It's not about living this wild lifestyle. Sure, that would be great. You know what it is for most of the people that I know? The people that I know are trying to pay their bills. They're trying to get out of debt. They're trying to have a nice dinner out. They're trying to be able to go on holiday sometime. It's not this grandiose thing that we want people that are the average person. How do we help them change their life? How do we show them a better way to do it? How do we give them opportunities that they didn't know they had in the past? Because ultimately, it's our job. Now that we know what we know, it's our job to help them along. It's our job to stimulate their minds, to show them that there's no ceiling. There's nothing holding them back. Only this. Only this is slowing them down. Their own brain, their own minds. Only that is slowing them down. So we've got to give them perspective. We've got to show them vision. We've got to then show them the way. And next and most important thing, we've got to stand right next to them and work with them every single day so that we can show them that our word matters. I always have talked about this, but your integrity and your intelligence are your tickets to the game. They really are. Your intelligence and your integrity. Without them, I can tell you, you'll never get there. They're the tickets to the game. The game never started for you if you don't have the intelligence or the integrity. But the intelligence and the integrity means that I've got the integrity to do the things that I know I need to do that will help people achieve that level of success that they need to achieve with honesty and integrity. That's my goal with everybody. And my intelligence is that I can learn that which I need to learn in order to be successful in this venture that I'm going out to become successful. And what does that mean to learn? It means that you're teachable. It means that you're pliable. It means that you're willing to soak it all in and take it all in so that you can become that person that you want to become. So I always again tell people it's my job to help people understand these things. It's your job to go out and teach people. It's your job to give them the hopes, the dreams, the desires, but most importantly, to give them the support that they need. Because ultimately, every one of these people that walk in the door goes, I'm here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. And if you don't just jump on that immediately and show them the way, give them the path, give them the direction, show them that vision, strategy, and direction that you've been working on for years or months or days or maybe hours. Maybe you're brand new to this company. Maybe you're brand new to Neumi. But whatever it is, get started today because once you start inviting people, you have an opportunity in front of you that is unbelievable. But it's up to you to take it. So, with that being said, I want to thank you again for being here. I want to thank you for everything that you guys put into your business and into your teams and into your hopes and dreams and desires. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it back to Sergio. Sergio, thank you.
Aaron, thank you very much. It was a wonderful training. We have wonderful comments here. A lot of people are very emotional about this, and now I think are thinking about a new way how they can truly um, share this opportunity in the beginning, very in a simple format. So thank you for taking the time. I also want to give a special thank you to Anton and his team for creating this beautiful PowerPoint presentation that we will be able to have for you in the field very soon. So stay tuned. We are going to have that in some of the languages that we have throughout the world. So just wait a few days and we'll give you more information about that, okay? It's I don't want to say much because I want to leave it on a great note with what Aaron said, but I do want to invite you to our Neumi Live next Monday. Chris Fowler and I are always start off the week at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this is a podcast setting. This is an opportunity where anybody can ask us questions directly and it's more interactive. And I just want to remind you, we have a special campaign going on right now specific to Neumi hair. And so if you share a testimonial with us, all you need to do is send it over to testimonials@neumi.com. Please include your ID number and a picture of you. And if you have a before and after, great. Not required, but you can please share that. We will go ahead and have our compliance department review it. We'll get back to you. We'll post it on our social media. And as well, this is probably going to be something even greater because we're looking for testimonials in general for this new product line now that we've had it out for a few months. And as a quick reminder, for the next 2 weeks, we will be giving out $50 to two lucky winners. Just if you missed this week's, We had two winners that got $50 each, and that has been deposited in their Neumi wallet. And just as a quick highlight for them as well, we had one from Florida, and we also had a winner from North Carolina here. So don't miss out. We want to make sure that you can take advantage of it and be like Claude Tyler from Sunset Beach, North Carolina, and Angela Jordan, who is from Doral, Florida, who won $50. So send those testimonials in. You have a few more days to do it. We'll go through them, and we'll make sure we put you in our drawing for next Monday. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be in touch, and take advantage of this wonderful new presentation that we'll be giving to you briefly, okay? And go out and teach the 5 steps to success.